Alright, well, looks like we got this thing going, for a change. Whew. Well, my previous recordings were fairly close to streaming in style anyway, so I figured, why not? So just in case someone is interested in this extremely odd game, there it is. Looks like the visual quality is good enough. And I missed the unaltered version, which featured Hitler shouting something Hitler-esque instead of just the dirigible falling down in flames. Although that's fine too, I guess. Also, I kind of appreciate what they... Well, actually, I take that back. I really appreciate what they do with the footage, because what they got from these old war films was already kind of grainy and low quality, well, by modern standards anyway. It kind of hides all the CGI effects of the, well, war machines, so it ends up looking really good. But let's start playing the actual game. Now, I am terrified of this mission. And that's probably the biggest... No, it's definitely the biggest reason why I took months to pick up this game again, even though I'm most of the way through it at this point. It's that lockdown thing that happens for some people, which is, what if I do it wrong? And then it gets kind of overwhelming and you just drop it and never look at it again. Let's see if I can break that streak. Now, my setup, if you've been watching the rest of the series, my setup is pretty much the same as it was before, with one exception that I'm going to fix right now, which is I have enough stuff which can remove enemy squads right now. And Jun, I think, needs some more hitting power against AFWs. Now here's an interesting question. Should I throw another rocket launcher squad in there? Everyone loves rocket launchers. And I did get a couple of new ones. But how will that sort of complement what I have right now? My previous inventory squad didn't have any kind of repair or shells or anything, so I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want here, which is kind of novel considering how tight some of my previous setups were. I don't think APCR shell would work too well though, not the range this guy fights at. On the other hand, I won't say no to heat shells. Can always use more of those, and having more turns seems really nice. Okay, let's go with this. The rest of them are going to be the same. Uh-oh, we got the drama again. This is kind of played up like the big reveal, even though it's been revealed at least 2 or 3 missions And I don't mean 2 or 3 missions ago. I mean, it's been treated as big reveals 2 or 3 times already. Oh well, let's go and settle this. And we're going to encounter a new situation here. Now, last time we kind of established that the guys we've been fighting all this time have pulled off a coup. And this is sort of an interesting interaction to me, because no one in North Japan really likes being under the thumb of the Soviets, but Ippei, who's been kind of fighting this suppression all this time, still thinks that this is a bad idea. And it's not said outright why that is, but I suspect that, I don't know, Ippei feels like all this is going to do is just get the Soviets to do a second invasion, and they're not ready for it yet. So, the situation we have right here. All these guys up here, the red and the yellow ones, are our enemies, but they're also going to fight each other a bit. That's going to make things a lot more manageable for us. And the next question is, how are we going to deal with all this? Now, the Soviets are going to roll up this way, and I like that because, especially this guy, I want them to deal with, actually if they can take care of a couple of these anti-AFWs, that'll be great, and get theirs kind of wrecked in the process too. Here's a big disappointment for me, by the way. So these guys have been sort of played up in the background for quite a while. They're the guys who ran over Japan's mechs in fairly short order. And I thought that they've been giving North Japan their obsolete mechs, like 2 generations old, and we'd see the real modern stuff when they showed up. But it turns out they're using the exact same stuff, just with a different coat of paint. I mean, it's a nice coat of paint, yeah, but I was expecting them to have different models. I mean, we've been facing AFWs that look like this for pretty much the entire game, so I was hoping for something new here. But with that quibble aside, how do we deal with this? We have Kaiho right here. Now, this is the first time Kaiho has shown up without even saying anything, which I think is kind of funny. And he's definitely our objective #1, so we gotta be really careful about where he can go, so we can sort of lure him off of this lookout spot and deal with him. For that, I want one of the anti-AFWs to move up here and give him a good punch to knock his shield off. Then Weizsäcker will use a whole bunch of accurate fire to deal with him. So that means my light AFWs have to stay out of this zone here. That's kind of a shame. But what I'm going to do is Kinsato and Ryoko are going to stick to the left side and remove enemy infantry over there. Ayana and John are going to do the same job on the right side from behind our lines. And Ippei and Emilio will do their usual thing. I think Kinsato should stay here for now, though. I don't want to get him involved in this mess. So, this guy definitely needs to move forward. He shouldn't be attacked first, but he needs to be in range to counterattack. So, moving him up to this village seems like a good idea. We have 2 villages to capture. The first one is easy. Getting that squad, no problem. Second one is a lot less easy because that is exactly where they will want to retreat to if they decide they want to recover. And that'll be it for that squad. So I gotta be decisive. I gotta make sure that once they get into an encounter, they don't get a turn to run away. Oh, well, that's a pretty straightforward skill set, isn't it? Best 2 soldier skills in the game. Sure, okay. John, you've been fighting those guys for, I don't know, 10 missions already? I wish it was always that easy. Now, I would love to see a retranslation of this game, but on the other hand, this is less common than it used to be, but it has that quality of the hilarious, not quite English sort of game translation. We've seen it in other places too. My brother calls it the crab stick translation because of something from a fan subtitle of Mazinger Z. Looks like this is getting a little bit choppy. My apologies. If it gets bad during an encounter, I'll see what I can do to fix it. You're also waiting here. This is something we haven't seen before. Usually it's just been me versus the other guys, so all the battles have been played out. But now we see that this game actually has an auto battle feature. We can't see how bad the damage was to the squads yet, because they're not in scouting range. So, if I move here, they're liable to attack Ryoko, so I'm not going to do that yet. I'm glad we don't have to actually watch all these battles play out, though. If you thought this gameplay was sluggish in my previous videos, whew, I don't know what to tell you. Right. I want Ippei to get more of the experience. Not that it matters as much at this point. I mean, I out-level the enemy by at least 5. But Ippei is going to move to the side because those are plains and he's going to be able to move again pretty fast. The place where they're most likely to attack is over here in the woods. And once Emilio goes up here, he's not moving again. Oh boy. I don't think moving too far up is a good idea because I won't be able to counterattack the way I want to. So, on the road seems pretty good for him. Oh. You're pretty new at this, aren't you? Just walked right into the worst AFW type matchup in the game. Yeah, I need to turn down the bitrate a little bit. In fact, I was so distracted by that I didn't press the punch button. Kind of a shame. No, actually, he's just really fast at firing that shell. Well, I'd rather deal with it against Ippei's pretty strong shield than... Well, actually I don't know when else I'd have to deal with it, but... Because this guy I'm not gonna fight fair. Actually, I wonder, can I change the bitrate during the middle of a stream? That'd be really nice for OBS to let me do that. As a matter of fact, I can. So, let's see if that's a bit better. Right, so what's going to happen is Ippei is going to get his turn before these guys do. So, this unfortunate fellow is going to take 3 punches. And that'll clear the way for more enemies to move into the place where I'm set up to best fight them. Taking a look at the preview video, it's pretty stretched out to the left and right, isn't it? That's because of this forced resolution. Huh. If I want to stream this game seriously, it's probably best if I played it on my actual PlayStation 2 instead. That seemed to have a better conversion. Huh. Actually, I could kind of turn this into a PlayStation 2 streaming channel. I got a pretty decent collection, I think. If I can get that to work. There's probably less strain on this computer, too. Anyway. So now we're getting into a fist fight. And these guys... they don't seem to have repair. That's going to be a problem for them. Oh boy. That is going to be a big problem. That's the 2 staples for any punching AFW. You need repair and you need cleanup. Also, I'm going to take an ink trap from these guys. No, wait, no, I'm at short range. Never mind, nothing to worry about. So, if I work this... No. Well, we'll see what they do with their cleanup. Okay, that's potentially good news for us, if I'm fast enough with how I move. They removed the wire, but not the mines, so now if I'm quick enough, I can maybe make that guy walk forward. This is gonna be a big ol' snipe, because... Oh! Well, okay, 30 damage is definitely something, but I was expecting 40. Nope, never mind. No such luck. Wow, their cleanup charge is really fast. But I'd still rather have those guys in the back line. Also, were they sort of... Nah, for a second I thought they were moving backwards. So this is where your anti-AFWs are going to take their damage most of the time. Because ending a battle early with them is still the way to go, but counter punches can kind of hurt. And if you're new to watching this, don't worry, there's more to this game than just the punching, I promise. This is just how the first phase of combat usually goes. The rest will get their chance. We'll have some shooting. Oh. Well, this is new. How do I deal with this exactly? Well, what do they have? They don't have a lot of important things. I think what I want to do, since they're asking for it, is I'm gonna give them some ink shrap and E-wire. They're going to have a lot of trouble due to that E-wire. And let's see how many good shots I can get on their troops. It's actually going to be a little tricky because of their smoke shot, but I'll do what I can. I've said this before, but I really wish Special Shells just used the normal loading and firing mechanics. Instead of just automatically hitting no matter what. Also, it looks like my timing for shooting was just about right. Also, they gave the Soviet troops new skins, but not really the AFWs. Well, okay, fine. I'll take what I can get. I was wondering when I'd be able to move. Huh, maybe I can wipe out one of their squads like that. I think the moment I get it out into medium range, I'll pull back for the second E-wire. Looks like I'm taking some damage too, but man, I should really... That short range is sticking really hard. I think this kind of confirms that Special Shells aren't affected that much by whatever accuracy effects are on you. Well, either that or the smoke shot ran out. How many... That's a tough call. I don't think I need to fire another one. I believe I'll be able to fire the second E-wire. And after that, those guys are toast. I mean, they just moved, so there's nothing stopping me from finishing them off. However, their troops are going to live. That's kind of a shame. So I might as well take a couple of shots, and that was a very nice animation cancel. A skill 2-in-1. I need to work on my frame traps in this game too. Uh-oh, they better fire real soon. No such luck. Ah, that's so annoying to leave their squads at such low health. But it's not all bad. Maybe they'll get into some side battles. I don't actually need the experience from fighting this guy. Ooh, yeah. They're gonna lose a squad for sure against them. Because... well, maybe not. I'll have to check after this. Yeah, Kaiho had better respect his elders. Ippei does not mess around. They don't have repair, so I think it's a good idea for me to break his weapon. Well, I'm not going to waste any time for this guy. I mean, I wouldn't have too much to gain walking in the slow way, and I'd much rather have Emilio lose his shield early than Ippei, because his base health is pretty bad. I think that's overstating it a little bit, though. If it was destroyed, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be able to still fire. Now I need to double check to see if you fellows still have your shield. It looks like it was just taken off. That's really good news for me. And, so this is tricky business. Who can John deal with? I better check their skills. If they have hype morale, it might not be worth it. They have ink trap, but they're more likely to load their heat shells. And getting rid of their squads would make things a lot easier for me. So, John, you do your thing. I definitely want to use Creeping Fire right at the start, though. I know it's pretentious to compare any kind of game to chess, but I think this game does have something in common with The Greatest Game, which is moving the pieces around is actually not easy at all. Things are cramped and you're often restricted to moving a couple squares at a time. So the board doesn't drastically change by any one move, usually. In fact, I'd say that happens more often in chess than in Ring of Red. I am tempted to bombard, but I need this more. Whew, 52. It's always fun seeing numbers like that, even if they, represent horrifying stuff. Now, a lot's going to depend on whether this guy's the type to move his squads back and forth a lot. If he does that, I'm in amazing shape here. Big question, should I use another Creeping Fire? I don't think so. It's a tough call for sure. I might not be able to take out their medics. I probably wouldn't try that at all if the enemy's legs weren't on fire. But that does affect things a bit. Okay, I'm definitely using a second Creeping Fire now. I should have checked for that. I thought they were using Smoke Shot, but they're not. So I won't be able to take him out without another one. And it seems kind of wasteful to use all these maximum attacks near the start of the map, but I have a lot, and when the game has reached the point where it's time to clean everything up, I don't need them nearly as badly. Alright. I'll be able to throw out the last couple of snipes in time, I think. Oh yeah, definitely. I actually forgot I had that. You could just keep them on. I mean, I know that's a separate skill, but come on. There we go. Let's see if I can at least take that shield off. And I think that's that. Oh yeah, that is definitely that. How should I handle this? I'm just gonna let it go. If they take an anti-soldier shot, that's probably better than the alternative. Well, unless it misses, but sometimes they just stay in aiming mode for so long that you know the rest. Man, but John has amazing aim. Remember how long it took to zoom in that far in the early game? That would be most of the battle right there. So how's that positioning? Yeah, Jun can definitely take him out now. Ooh. That artillery hurts real bad. We've got the smartest foreleg ever here. However, that's a serious problem for us. I know how to deal with it, kind of, but there's going to be the troubles. I don't plan to do anything special here. Oh, they have height morale. Okay, that's gonna be more trouble than usual. I might have to just shoot those guys down with Weizsäcker, or I'd rather not do it with Ayana, because they'd just be trading high power hits, and I need Ayana at high health for later. This is playing out a little different than when I was practicing, but I should be able to deal with it. I really wanted to see if I could at least record God Eater 3. I happen to be a big fan of the God Eater series. Oh, I know exactly what Ayana is going to do. She's going to clear out this guy. So that Weizsäcker can move forward and beat up Kaiho. Alright, that's the plan. When does Jun move next, anyway? Okay, that's not too far off either. It's so tempting to use an APC shell here, but I'm gonna need it for later. It's also tempting for me to take shots at their infantry, but I don't even need experience anymore. Which is... that feels like a really odd thing to say, by the way. I need to hold on to 5 maximum attacks for a thing I'm going to do later. but I can pretty freely use the rest. What I'm gonna do is try and take this shot, and if it misses, I'll just use the maximum attack when I get the chance. But it didn't. Okay. That's one thing you learn very quickly when you play anything where your chances to hit are percentage based. Always have a backup plan. In fact, it's always better to have 2 backup plans. Yeah, again, 1 point in accuracy, and that's it. Why did you move backwards? Oh, you're moving around to the left to deal with those guys. That's a good idea. Also, there's something I should definitely do when I get another turn, which is, now I've talked about how these models are so unoriginal and disappointing. Well, the other thing I want to do is check this stuff, because, oh wow, you sir are doomed. Yeah, and you took a pretty nasty punch, which is kind of a win-win for me. You took, oh yeah, I think Ryoko dealt that leg hit. So, I'm not quite sure how to finish this guy off, and I'm not even sure that I have to. You have no squads, and yes, that's the thing. In auto battles, their squads will also take damage. It's a touch that I really appreciate. It's going to make things a lot easier for me, which reminds me, this guy. We've seen him a couple of times. A very not nice person. Casually throws people into gulags and other fun stuff. His machine is what I was hoping to see. I'll put it that way. I think that they did an excellent job in making this design look as Russian as possible. There's no other model like this in the entire game. I think it's just amazing. I love it. This gun has a sniper's scope, even though AFW sights don't actually work that way. And his base accuracy is actually not that great even. Although his damage is quite good. His skills are quite scary. He's got emergency load, that's the big one. Aim weapon, which means that I'd better have repairs with me when I fight him. And straight strike, which I don't care about. But emergency load. He will use that skill a lot. As in, during the course of one encounter, he'll probably use 5 maximum attacks on it, and he will use it to fire his special shells. And 2 of his squads have special shells that damage an AFW. So there is no avoiding a lot of damage when you deal with this guy. Any encounter with him is very, very dangerous. Which is why I don't have to fight him just yet. He's busy with these guys. And he doesn't use... well, no one uses maximum attacks or special shells in these auto battles. Which I find rather disappointing, but I'll find a way to cope with it. We'll deal with this very dangerous opponent first. Although he's less so because he doesn't have any skill they can use to spam attacks with. Well, now I'm sorry, Weizsäcker has said this is the last time we meet a lot of times, but it carries a little bit more meaning this time. You'll see what I mean. Alright, none of these skills are all that intimidating. I can repair my legs if he uses E-Wire, which he almost certainly will. And Smoke Shot is not a problem. If you've seen me use Weizsäcker before, you'll see why. There is one thing I want to do, though, which is, well, I'm going to move these guys forward right now, because I'll need to get off a rocket shot or two. But man, 10 maximum attacks. Let's see how many I use up by the end of this battle. Now, I make fun of Weizsäcker's unique skill occasionally, but it is not actually the most broken skill. As we've discussed before, that honor goes to Quick Move. Alright, do I have to move back and repair? Probably. And that'll make him use aim weapon more, which I don't particularly like. But Weizsäcker's machine is really tough, so I should be okay. I think it's actually harder to land aim weapon if the target has a shield. Well, what I definitely need is one more rocket hit, which I might not get. This battle is going, well, a lot of things are happening at once, I'll put it that way. There was a time where that was a significant part of my battles against this guy. Same deal with Smoke Shot. I guess having that skill do actual damage would be a bit much, even for this game. In the previous times I fought this guy, which were actually not as many as I thought it would be, he would normally run at this point. But nope. We got him for real this time. Man, we went a long way to wreck that mech, didn't we? From the North-South Japan border all the way up to Hokkaido, I think. Or close enough. No, I don't think we're at Hokkaido yet. We're a little south of that. We've been waiting for that for a long time. Especially long if you've been watching all of the series so far. Oh wow, so touching. A scene like that means they're likely to die soon. I'd love to do that. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to just end the mission right here. But that's not happening. Right. Ryoko is not going to stop calling it the Demon AFW, no matter how many times they tell her that insignia is actually a bull. We can't dislodge her ideas with little things like facts. Oh, well, I have to admit, it did distract us, although it kind of led us to the Dora anyway, so I can't really say whether it was effective. Now, as much as I just bashed on Ryoko there, everything else about her character is really fearsome. I still think she's a better pilot than Weizsäcker is. Yeah, except... Actually, that's an interesting question I just came up with. If they were able to make it once with the plans they stole from the North, wouldn't they be able to make it again? Then again, the people involved are, really shady. Like, really, really shady. So we can't know for sure. Alright, since Dora isn't here, and Kinosato just mentioned further plans for the coup d'etat, that means this isn't the only place it's likely to happen. Which fits. This isn't the final mission in the game, even though this sort of three-way battle seems dramatic enough for one. So, where are you going next? You're going nowhere. Well, I am tempted. I am very tempted to use him to just remove those squads. It would make things easier for Jun. That depends on how badly the shooters are injured. The problem is if I do that, Kinosato is going to take some damage, and he might be attacked by others as well. Not this guy, and I'm thankful for that. But I don't actually need to finish this guy off yet. Jun can do that. Yeah. Kinosato is actually not very useful in this position in the map, now that I think about it. So how do I handle it, though? He's going to recover. That's the biggest problem. And it might be more important... Yeah, I'm going to redo my plans. I will have Kinosato attack from here. There's nothing stopping him from doing that, after all. And he'll deal with their squads, and then Jun will come over and finish him off before he can move. Because he's going to get free recovery from that village if his squads aren't removed, and he's probably going to move back and recover anyways, and I'd like to prevent that. And there's nothing stopping Emilio from finishing this guy off. Okay, we got a plan. Hooray! Yo, Jason. Good to see you. Thanks for watching the stream. I was not sure if anyone would pick this up. I don't know if this is your kind of game, but here it is. Now, how am I gonna deal with this guy? I don't need anything too special to remove squads that are this weak. Oh, you're Jason, you say you've never heard of this, and you are not alone. This game went under everyone's radar. It's by Konami, which, yeah, I know. I thought it would be by some tiny obscure company too, but it's not. This game was just never advertised, apparently. Now, I need to be pretty careful about my movement here. I definitely need to get into short range, but not into punching range. Well, it's a PlayStation 2 game. You gotta be ready for that sort of thing. Unfortunately, I'm not... Nah. My stream is going to have a couple of hiccups every now and then. Because, why am I playing a PlayStation 2 game? Because I like this game and no one's heard of it. Well, that takes care of the rocket launchers. I'm also playing this game because I have a series about this game that's been running for a really long time, and I've been letting it sit there for way, way too long. I think I'd rather take anti-squad shots. Oh, come on. There's some PlayStation games, or PlayStation 2 games out there that people have heard of. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. No, it's been 20 years and people still remember Silent Hill 2, okay? Give it a little credit. I don't quite get why I'm getting more frame drops in this battle than the others. I need to make sure that I'm not running anything I shouldn't. Yeah, there's definitely something going on that... Oh, Steam is... No, it's not even Steam's fault. Okay. I've got a question to deal with here. How do we deal with these last few guys? I'm probably gonna just punch this one to death. This one's going to move forward soon, and having Emilio go up a bit will be very helpful. And I'll want Weizsäcker to get out of the way, because Ayana is probably going to want to move up here. Yeah. Yeah, something's definitely going a bit off. I might have to just record the rest of this game rather than streaming it, which is kind of a shame. Well, I have heat shells to spare, don't I? But I don't even need them, really. So the land effect is not... well, it's definitely there, but I think that in this case the squads will do more damage overall. I'm not even afraid of their shrapnel shells. Speaking of improved aim, Jun has improved a lot since we got started. Oh! He's got nothing on those squads, though. Wow. That took no time at all. Yep, I called it. And he actually moved in at... no, actually, that's pretty much where I expected him to go. So what do these guys got? They got... alright, the main thing I'm looking for here is whether they have hype morale, because a couple of units in this mission have it, and when that happens, they're... unless they get their troops damaged in interfaction wars or battles or whatever, I'm not going to be able to get rid of them. So when I see hype morale, it's better to just go right for the AFW, even if I have to use more resources that way. Even though medium AFWs don't have a punch that's too scary statistics-wise, those guys have the most stylish-looking melee weapons, like that flail and that sickle, which I think is hilarious. The anti-AFWs just have those punching arms, and I think they could have done something more with that, with the game design. Ooh, well. So, this is actually a somewhat tricky situation. These guys are not moving just yet. However, alright, if he moves back, he won't be able to make it to the village. That's good news. Ayana wants to move over here, but the space will not be open in time. She can't move here. And John definitely wants to move to this village here. And he'll be able to deal a lot of damage with artillery that way. How am I going to deal with the left side, though? Well, they're still mostly fighting each other, so I just kind of have to hold the line. That shouldn't be a problem. Huh, these guys have actually not taken much squad damage. They have, though. Well, that's because they've been dealing with light AFWs, but... Does anyone actually want to move to where Ipe is, though? So moving Ayana here would be pretty nice, but as I said, not happening. Over here would be way too reckless. Alright, so she's just gonna have to sit still for the time being. It's kind of a shame, but what can you do? I've also decided that speeding things up for those skills that take a while to play out, I'm not going to do that anymore. It seemed like a really good idea, but taking a look at how other people manage their game footage, there's two main problems. First of all, I need to stop talking even if there's something I want to say, if it looks like I'm doing something that I might skip over later. That's annoying. Another annoying thing is... what should I do here exactly? 2 medics? No thank you. The other thing is, who knows? Someone who's watching the video might just want to see it at normal speed. So, well, there's the skip ahead 5 seconds key if they want to speed things up, so I'm not gonna worry too much about that anymore. What I should worry about is what to do here. I can E-wire these guys again and just punch them, but I think what I need to do more... When do they move again? Well, they move before this guy, and I think they're more likely to attack the Soviets. This is a problem. I'm not ready to get in range of this guy. He's gonna take some special effort to deal with, and he's definitely not gonna get killed off on his own. Ideally, he'll lose a squad. If that happens, things will be a lot easier for me. Actually, what do these guys have? Co-op? Yeah, that's the big one. I'll probably need to get rid of that. Let's see, can he attack this village? Nope, nope. Alright, so this will be fine. She'll get that free village recovery, and she'll be able to deal with those squads. And I'd much rather have Ryoko take those special shells than one of my light AFWs, too. Yeah, my stream is definitely starting to destabilize a little bit. Well, we'll see. They're pretty tough. I'm thinking about whether or not I should pull him back for another salvo, and I believe, nah, co-op goes first. It wouldn't be great. I'm thinking about putting hype morale back in my squad setup. Because next mission, I might have need of it. Because there's going to be some stuff in there that's very punishing for soldiers. I should be at medium range after this. I think I'll have enough time to charge up the skills again. Oh, a tree got in the way. And I hate when that happens. Well, maybe that knockback will put me out of the way. I'd much prefer if the skills were in the other order, but I'll deal with what I got. I think that if I can get one normal shot off in addition to... Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, we're at long range now? I was not expecting that. I guess I was moving back too much. I think getting rid of one squad will be enough. I probably could have just taken shots at the AFW and it would have been... things would have been fine. But maybe they'll absorb another attack from this medium. That would be good news for me. Alright, I think an artillery attack against this guy will be a really good idea. But I do want to check their skills first, just in case. I believe I did that already, but can't be too careful. Alright, so they're going... I don't think they're going to load the shrapnel, though. They'll probably have the APCR shell instead. That's going to hurt me a bit, but... John is in a good position. He can stay in place and recover a bit if he has to. I don't think I need ink trap against these guys. Those shells are being saved for a very special occasion if one comes up. Yeah, I might as well use the creeping fire right now because they're likely to close into medium range afterwards, I mean. And everyone loves creeping fire. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Good news is he's in a village, so he'll recover from that reasonably fast. There we go. It's really hard to survive against this setup. For one thing, moving your troops to the back is no help at all. Creeping fire and snipe combined, just too strong. That's probably why they put a limit on how much damage snipe could do to a squad. I mean, if all of those snipes are doing 38 or 40 damage, ugh, wow. Oh, that was annoying. Like that. That situation right there. Just a couple of battles ago, or maybe one battle ago, the enemy squads moving to the back gave me quite a bit of trouble. But against these guys, forget it. There's no saving you. Alright, let's see if I can deal a little more direct damage. I really hope that was enough. No? What? I don't know what to say. Do I have enough time to charge up another one? I don't know for sure. I have enough time to load up another shell, I think. It's gonna be really close, though. I do wish there was some sort of quick animations button, though. Yeah, it doesn't take 10 seconds to sap a shot. I should be fine. What? Right away? Well, okay, they're being smart about it. Can't fault them for that. I could use 2 maximum attacks to finish off the squad, but they don't even have much health left, so why bother? Well, that'll teach me to be a little less arrogant about what I'm doing. So Ipe can definitely punch these guys out now. And Weizsäcker would have no trouble dealing with them. And Emilio would have no trouble dealing with this guy, I think. Alright, things are looking good. I think I'll deal with these last few guys as I described. Where should I move him, though? I'm tempted to move him forward, but that's not really the best positioning for him. I need to be careful when moving up to take this village. So it's better, I think, to just deal with all this stuff first, then worry about moving. When does she move? Well, I bet she could take these guys out. It would only take one shot, I think. Alright, we'll do it that way. Actually, slight change of plans. I'm gonna have him attack diagonally over there because Ayana is going first and this would be a dangerous matchup for her. And I'd like to have her do something. Although, now that I think about it, why? You see, this is what happens when experience doesn't do anything anymore. It makes a lot of the choices simpler. Like, I don't have to actually give kills to everyone anymore. Oh, it's actually a good thing I did it this way. I forgot that his legs were on fire. Alright, let's see what we can do. Okay, fair enough. You have the shells, you might as well use them. So I'm gonna need one more rocket launcher hit. And there it is. And that is why I was being very cautious about that village. Ouch. Man, that guy got surrounded. On the other hand, there's going to be trouble in that direction. This is actually trouble. And it's why not having any light AFWs on the right side is a problem. Well, the good news is neither of these can actually take the squad from this village because this one has no living squads to recover, and this one never took any squad damage. Still, I could do better. I definitely want to move him forward, at least a little bit. What can Jun do? Oh, he can go up there and deal with this guy. And when's his turn? Very soon. So he's gonna do that. He should have plenty of firepower. And what's Ryoko gonna do? I don't see any reason to get her tangled up in this. We're gonna have to deal with these guys fairly soon, though. We'll have to see how much damage these forelegs deal to them. That's another thing. I can afford to wait now. These guys move soon as well, but not before Jun. Actually, moving up here would be very dangerous for Kinosato. So I'm gonna limit it to 1 square. Well, Jun did a very impressive job not too long ago. So let's see if he can do that again. I think this situation is dangerous enough for me to start throwing out heat shells. I'll save this one for later, but... well... would it be better for me to just have the squads deal a ton of damage instead? Yeah, I think so. If this guy still had his shield, I would definitely want to bring heat shells. Oh wow, Jun actually has 10 maximum attacks now. Not that it matters in this case. Well, should I break his weapon? Sure, let's do that. I mean, he's in a pretty risky spot right now, so minimizing damage seems pretty good. It was worth a try. If I was gonna do that, I should have brought my recon in front to increase the base hit chance. You know, that's a feature of anti-AFWs that I didn't realize before, which is if they're in shooting position and they get hit, they don't actually get pushed back. Oof. Okay, that's... missing that shot would have been really bad. Alright, I don't think I need to shoot again. It's probably better just keep some distance. Oh wait, he's getting ready to fire now. Okay, things turned out perfectly. I did not in fact need those heat shells at all. Although, my squads on the ground were really working overtime there. Whew. Now, that foreleg near the village is not going to move anytime soon, because he just moved and recovered, and that is a huge delay. That's a weird thing for her to say to Ippei. At least, I think that's who she's talking to, because Ippei's been the MVP of this entire unit, if you ask me. Right. So, let's check what these guys have. If they have a lot of... yeah, they're likely to load APC or APCR, and Ayana will take a ton of damage. That's the problem. In this map, she hasn't had much of a chance to attack anything except other forelegs, and that's been a big problem. So, when do these guys... wow, that's not for a really long time. I'll be able to move everyone else first. And they can all reach him, too. Oh, that's scary. Scary, scary. Alright. So dealing with this one isn't a problem. It looked like he was getting away when he backed off and recovered, but forget it. There is no hope now. So does anyone else need this spot? Because Ayana really needs to move forward to keep up with what the rest of the guys are about to do. So let's double check to see if anyone else needs this road spot. John doesn't. He can move up here. I don't think anyone else needs it. Okay. So there it is. And no, you're not attacking. You're gonna get your combat soon enough, don't you worry. Whoa! Wowee. Sergey got in way over his head, didn't he? I really wish I could have shown him off. There's no reason for me to do so, though. That's a big problem. If he was actually allowed to use his maximum attacks, he'd probably wreck half the map. But auto battle being what it is, we'll have to wait. So, do I move Ryoko forward? So, the case 4. It would be a pretty good position. She's pretty durable, and she'd be able to wreck this guy easy. The case against, I'd really like Kensato to move forward and deal with these squads. Yeah, Ryoko's likely to get attacked by 3 or 4 guys if she moves forward. Man, when these guys move forward more and the left side of the map opens up, I should be able to get a much more effective formation together. But for now, well, waiting here isn't too bad. She still needs to recover some soldier health. Should I recover her AFW health, though? I don't think so. That seems like a pretty long delay for a very small recovery. In that case, though, who's going to deal with these squads? Well, Kensato can attack from a diagonal, so that seems like a good idea. Okay, that's the plan. Sure. You shine on, Emilio. So where does Weisiger want to go? Both of these spots are kind of occupied, but it's kind of okay if Weisiger stays where he is. He's on a road. He'll get his next turn without too much delay. And punching this guy seems like a pretty good idea. It's such a shame. If I recorded the whole thing from my actual PlayStation 2 from start to finish, I'd probably be able to stream this no problem. But, I didn't have the hardware to capture it at that point. And as tempting as it is to, start the whole game over on my PlayStation 2, there's gonna be some differences. I mean, I'm not gonna play the exact same way twice, much as I could try. So there'd be differences in how my experience is distributed and stuff. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yep. Whoa. They actually took quite a bit of damage there, though. At long range? I don't know why it went that way. I guess that's part of the weirdness of auto battle. And Ippei still has a bit of shield left. I'm kind of surprised. That fighting... Alright, so all of the fighting I've done so far, it could have been a lot worse. Especially if Sergei decided to attack, or to move towards me instead of the North Japan army. And, well, what can I say? When we used to have increases of something like 3 or 4 points per level, now it's just locked down to 1. Oh, and Weizsäcker actually can move forward without a problem. Who can... Well, these guys could take some artillery to Kinsado if they really wanted to. But I don't think they have much of a reason to do so. Especially because I suspect these guys are going to move forward soon and occupy their attention. And for being such a fearsome force plot-wise, the Red Army is not doing so great on this map. Alright, so how's this going to look? Yeah, it looks like the other units will be able to move forward and keep formation just fine if Weizsäcker goes up a bit. I just need to double check enemy movement. Yeah, he can't get up there. Looks like there's a recon or two in that setup. That's not a bad idea. And Minakawa, that's going to be trouble. Fortunately, he can't reach there either, but... Ooh, that actually reminds me. Ryoko's going to have to move up really fast, really soon. You know, that's a bigger problem than I thought. Her position is... Okay, I'm gonna level with you right now. This is the last map where there's a hidden green squad. And to get that squad, Ryoko has to make good on her promise and defeat Minakawa. Well, that's much easier said than done, of course. And I considered giving her an an AFW killing unit for that, but Really, most of the work is going to be done beforehand. I really need to be able to lock him down. And I have an idea of how to do that. Ayana's going to pull that off. But Ryoko needs to be very close by first. I might actually have to... I might have to delay a lot of what I'm doing. Also, I've been playing this game for quite a while already. So, I think this is a good place to end the experiment. For any watching now or in the future, I hope you got at least some enjoyment out of it. I think I'll go back to conventional recording in the future, at least for this game. Although this has helped me to pick up a couple of ideas for later. So, thanks again. I will see you next time.